With Splint's Friends and Foes program,
you can call your friends all you want.
And we'll charge it to your foes.
It's that simple,
whether it be your ex-wife or your boss, your abilities get paid for you.
By the people you hate the most. Give us a list of your friends and foes.
And we'll take care of the rest.
Splint, where you get revenge
and savings at the same time.
Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host. We're going on a quest for truth together. Here we are again, friends, on the old intranet once again, and here with all of our friends. So welcome back. And I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. And everything else like that. You know, something is different on StreamYard, and I'm a little bit, let me just check something here really quickly here. Banners. To get rid of all my banners. What's going on here? What is going on? Nobody knows. No clue, Mr. Magoo. You know, it's whenever you're like rushing to get a show going, and then all of a sudden something is different. There's no explanation. Well, there is if you have time, but usually you don't have time. I don't have time. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, I'm glad that you're all here. And speaking of being here, let's go over there to Chatlandia and see who's over there chatting. All the Truth Questers over there. Let's go and see who's chatting about. Alrighty then. Well, look, it's Weiss123. That's Catherine Weiss. She's one of our Ultra mods. She says, hi, Aaron. And then Kathy also says, I'll be over on YouTube tonight. And then she says, hi, Peggy. And then I said, hi, Kathy. And I usually say okay after that, but I had to do it in a separate message. Okay. Okie dokie, Pinoki. And there's Kathy over there on YouTube. She says, hi, Aaron. And then over on YouTube, I'm Hot Games and Puzzles. And I say, hi, Kathy. Again. And then I went over to the portrait channel. Sometimes I don't make it over there. And I said, welcome, Truth Questers. There you go. And then Valeronian's here. Look at our friend Valeronian. Greetings, fellow Truth Questers, he says. Of course, that's our good friend Skylark74. And Cap78 Pack, Peggy Dancer, another one of our Ultra mods, says, hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123, Kathy. I'll be here tonight. And then I said, hiya, Valeronian. And then Cap78 Pack says, hello, Valeronian. And I made statement earlier, but oh, did you? Okay. It didn't post. Then I said, hi, Cap78 Pack. Okay. because she said she was going to be here. And then Cap 78 Pack says, didn't post. Ugh. Don't you hate that? These tools, sometimes they're just not very good. They're wonky. They got wonkiness to them. Wonky, like Wonky Donk Mooberry. There you go. Valeronian says, hello, Catherine. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Aaron. And then Kathy says, hi, Valeronian. And then Kathy says, hi, Aaron, over there on the Portrait channel. Oh, she made it over there, too. She is our designated YouTube Ultramod. And then Kathy also puts this out. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media. And hit the old thumbs up because that helps the old rhythms and the algo beats and the algo melodies and all that kind of crazy cool stuff. All those algo things. What are those algo things? Nobody knows. And then thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. Then Peggy Dancer says, why is Rumble freezing my chats and keeping me from my subbed channel? I don't know. And isn't that weird? And then I'm too bro. I'm tough, bro. I'm tough, bro. Says, hi. Hi, I'm tough, bro. And then Valeronian says, I wish I could help with Peggy Dancer's Rumble problem, but it's working fine here. I've noticed a weird shaking interference on the Rumble link with the Promethean Action website. Others have, and looks like he's going to comment it. And look who else is here. Why, it's Chrono Viewer. Hello, Chrono Viewer. And hello, Mrs. Pinkerton. I better go say hi to him. Oops. Oh, where is it? It's way over there. Okie dokie, Pinocchio. And then, so I gotta say hi. Hi. Chrono Viewer. There it is. Now the wavy hand. Got to give the old wavy hand. Can't do the exclamation points. I'm exclamation pointless today. I'm exclamation pointless. I can't do exclamation points unless I copy and paste. And that's just a whole lot of, I usually get the paste over my fingers. You get to peel it off. It's not good. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, oops. Now we got to go over here. And hi, Chrono Viewer, says Cap 78 Pack. And then Valeronian continues, commented on it. Promethean Action has fascinating web classes on American history and culture every Saturday night. Oh, that sounds interesting. And Kathy says, hi, Chrono Viewer. And then I said, hi, Chrono Viewer. And then Carnivore says, hello, Cap 78 Pack. And we got another friend here. It's Darby Burns, M8U, says, hey, Darby. Good to see you here. And then the Carnivore says, hello, Aaron. Truth Quest, Aaron Moriarity. Hey, buddy. You reviewing the chronos over there? And then Valeronian says, hello, Chrono Viewer. Alrighty then. Well, it did it again. Oh, I tell you, this trackpad, it's my worst enema. My worst enema. There you go. Trackpad. See, you have to touch it, right? To make it work. And then if you touch it just with the 1-2 fingers, boom, everything blows up and you can't see anything. It's like, who designs this stuff? You know, I was an industrial designer at Hasbro and Tonka. And when I did a product, I researched it, I safety tested it. And nowadays, these designers, these engineers, they don't do any safety testing. They don't do, I don't know how they Oh, well, maybe when AI takes everything over, then I can just calm down because the things will be done better than these. Because you never know. Is it this designer's first day at work? Maybe he doesn't know the ropes yet, or she. I don't know. And then Valeronian says, hello, Darby Burns. And then Chroniviewer says, hello, Valeronian. Oh, and I think I missed this one. Chroniviewer says, hey, Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Truth Quest, Aaron Moriarity. All righty then. Well, it looks like we're through all of that. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I guess we're going to go over to Facebook. The Book of Faces, the land of Zuckers, where there's a Zucker born every minute, as we know. Yeah. It's a sad thing over there. Not anywhere near as cool as MySpace. Boy, I miss MySpace. MySpace was stellar. It was incredible. Don't you remember that? Was anyone else on MySpace? And I wouldn't have been on MySpace, but I had a friend that said, you gotta join this. You gotta go on there. I go, okay. I did. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Really cool. Too cool for school, you might even say. All right, well, let's go on over there. Okie dokie, Pinocchio. And there's our little thumbnail tonight. And that picture of the sport model right there is exactly what I saw in 1996 over Chippewa Falls. It was not rotating. The portals, or those black things, just stayed where they were. I think I could see two of them from the vantage point I saw. But it was right on edge like that, right sideways looking at it. And it looked just like that. It's still one of the freakiest things that ever happened to me. I'd say probably the second or third freakiest thing that ever happened to me. Maybe the first freakiest. It really freaked me because I didn't believe in UFOs before I saw one in 1996, that exact same one. Of course, that's Bob Lazar there. And this is episode 757. Sounds like some kind of large engine, huh? I got a 757 in that thing. Or else it sounds like an airplane. Now boarding the 757. Isn't there a 757? It sounds familiar. Familiar. And then, Valeronian says, Ashton Forbes commented on the MH370 aircraft loss, has said that there has been a paper published describing magnetic wormholes. The alleged magnetic wormhole sounds almost exactly like the science fiction version of it in one of the many science fiction novels that Valeronian read. I predict he's going to say that, or one of them. He's going to name it. He's got a good memory for that. Aha, there it is. Science fiction, hyperspatial jump. To me, I was never expecting this technology to be described in detail in open lecture in our time. Well, and according to one of the things we're going to go over today, the government is supposedly going to be declassifying and releasing these like 43 or 47 videos that Congress people have seen. So we'll see. Oh yeah, don't you love it? And here is our friend Bob Lazar. Boy, I'd love to get him on the show. Wouldn't that be fantastic? But here he is. It's an alien craft. UFOs Live.
I thought people were nuts. But when they started reviewing everything with me, I was trying to replace somebody, or they were trying to use me to replace somebody as quick as possible. and they had two directives. Directive one was to duplicate the technology with available material at any cost, which is exact verbatim what it was. And directive two was to be able to disable this technology at a distance at any cost. And, once you start thinking about that, wait, don't you guys know how the thing you built worked? And it's kind of like they left that out, that this, by the way, this isn't ours. And Barry is the guy that filled me in going, no, this is an alien craft. And we need to figure out how this works. Look at the technology here. I mean, this is decades, light years ahead of where we are. And it was a shock, really, to me. I thought people were nuts.
It is a shock, and when you see one, it's a shock. It's you really not, even though you might think, oh, it could be, you're still not, unless you see it yourself. Here's Graham Hancock. Now, I am not a fan of Graham Hancock. There's something creepy about this guy, but this is an interesting story. And I don't have any evidence to say he's a creep. I just get a vibe from people. So there you go. Here he is. It's a pretty interesting story. Listen to this.
I've climbed the Great Pyramid 5 times.
What?
And 2 of those climbs were legal. Samantha and I together found at the top of the Great Pyramid, on the south side, overlooking what used to be the boat museum, on one step down from the top, we found the name initial P, Hancock, 5th of April, 1916. Well, my grandfather was Philip Hancock.
No.
Yes, and he was in Egypt. He was in Egypt during the First World War.
Are you serious?
But I still couldn't be 100% sure it was him. And at that time, my dad was still alive, and he had my grandfather's diaries, which were little things, little diaries, dozens of them. And I went through to the date given, and I opened that page, and I saw just one line, and it said, "Climbed Great Pyramid today."
No way.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That was my granddad. I've climbed the Great Pyramid 5 times.
What?
And
Isn't that interesting? He climbed the pyramid 5 times. 2 times were legal. So is he admitting to And we're back. We have a terrible thunderstorm here, folks. There was a big lightning crash and everything went out, and we just got back on. If it goes out again, that's what it is, and I hope it doesn't fry my confuser. Oh boy. Hail's going now too, so lots of stuff happening out there in the intranet, I guess, or in the weather, as it were. It was up to like almost 60 today here, so it was a very nice day. Now it's raining, thunder, lightning, and hail. So we're going through all of that. Alrighty then. And I'm very sorry for that. Let me see here. Oh, I gotta get. Okay, I gotta get. They're already on. I don't have to do that. Okay, good. Whew, boy, I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Ba-boom! 5x5. Aaron is trying to get back on. There is a hailstorm where he lives. Thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. Yeah, she called on the bat phone. And Valeronian says, just a cloudy night here where I am, but it looks like stormy weather is coming. It's storms here, man. It's a nasty one. And then Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, oh, thank God. Thought it was my end again. Nope, wasn't yours this time. It was good old Mother Nature acting up again. You know, remember when Mother Nature used to do commercials for I can't believe it's not butter or something like that? Wasn't that what it was? Some margarine product. Terrible. Terrible. They tricked people into eating that junk. Oh well, so swell. Well, folks. Alrighty then. What's this doing open here? Can I shut that now? I don't know. And I guess I have to do this too. Okay, a little bit of cleaning up after getting back on here. And all right. Let's go back over to Facebook, like where we were. Let me see. Where were we? We were just at the Graham Hancock. And so here's the next thing. Okay. All right. Getting back on track here. I'm really sorry about that, folks. But I don't control the weather yet. Not yet. Got to work on that weather controlling device, you know? Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't be messing with stuff like that, right? Oh, right you are. And here we go. And what could this be from Foreman Joseph? Why, it's Afro Man in concert. There he is. Let's check it out, shall we?
I was gonna clean my room. I was gonna
And thank you, Peggy Dancer, for your donation, for your gifted subscription to Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Uh-oh. Why did it do that? It went back to there again. Uh-oh. We're joy scrolling. I don't doom scroll. I scroll. I joy scroll. You know that? Fitri Al Hibsi, NASA put this out. Astronauts aboard Artemis 2 reported that the moon looked like it has many colored spots in brown, blue, and green. This is what the saturated version of the image of the moon that the Artemis took looks like. Now, I don't know if this is really what Artemis took, because I took this and I applied some filters to it, and it's not one single picture. It's split up into rows. I don't know. Maybe it took just a little bit I don't know, but it's weird. So it's not one picture. Maybe they were too close to it to get. I don't think they were pretty far from it. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's all a mystery. And it's to get this thing, Astra thing here. I don't know what that means. Who knows? Nobody knows. Oh, did you see the left is going nuts? There's a painting, an image of Trump putting hands on sick people, and he's wearing a white robe with a red tunic over it. And the left is claiming that he shared a picture of himself that's him as Jesus. He said, that's not what I see. He goes, how do you get that? But look at what they did to Obama. They literally made him into Christ. Look at that. Oh, man. Kind of the opposite. Muslims built every foundation of our nation. No, we did. And then fought against Muslim pirates in 1801 through 1805. Idiot. Thanks, Thomas Jefferson. Oh, and here's Bob Lazar talking about from Saucer is with Gravatar. Bob Lazar and Luigi discuss Betty and Barney Hill. Yeah, he was made aware of Betty and Barney Hill because they had a similarity in their abduction in the 60s. Check it out.
But no, I don't know.
Like, do you know who
anything
these
about
people are?
that. Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill.
Okay. Well, so you know.
Yeah, they were the first abductees.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, they're. I don't know who first introduced those to me, and I looked them up, and people say, "Do you believe them?" And I'm kind of inclined to believe them because, look, in the 1960s, right, where they're from, the last thing you want to do is be recognized as a mixed race couple, right? I mean,
right, and go public with
Yeah.
the story.
yeah, I mean, holy cow,
that was a
they
big
would
thing.
hate you.
Yeah.
A black person and a white person that were, in any kind of relationship. But
And
yeah,
have
they
this
did that.
Crazy story.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And you hear their
and
hypnotic
actually,
regression.
on top of that, I have a connection to
Yeah.
that because Barry said they're from the Zeta Reticuli star system, and I believe it's Betty Hill drew a map of the Zeta Reticuli star system and said this is part of their roots.
Whoa.
But
Did you know that?
You didn't know
No,
that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know.
if you
I
look that
remember
up-
it from what you said from
Okay,
your
but
story.
if you look up in Betty and Barney Hill, she said, I think, I don't
Well,
know.
I know
if I
the
can never
story.
get this stuff right. They show her a map and they say, well, this is a map. She wanted to know why they were here, what's going on. They showed her a map. Am I
Yeah,
right?
They showed her a map.
And they said, do you understand this? And she said, no. And they said, well, why should we tell you anymore? And well, I don't know, maybe you
it's
could
something
fill it
like
in.
that. But they showed her this star map, and she obviously there
Look
it
at
is.
that.
Yeah,
Under hypnosis, Betty Hill describes a map she was shown by the leader aboard the ship. Later, she sketched it. She said she was told that the heavy lines marked regular trade routes.
that's right. Yeah.
And the broken lines recorded various space expeditions. The following year, the map seen at right was published in the New York Times. Mrs. Hill, struck by the similarity between the Times map and her sketch, then added the corresponding names. Yeah.
And it ended up being the Zeta Reticuli binary star system, which was really interesting. And I remember when I first heard about Bob's story back in 1989, and he said Zeta Reticuli, I remember thinking, wow, that's what Betty Hill saw. So that made me also question, is that real in that document? Did these guys really come from there? You know, because it was mentioned in 1968.
Right.
So why would the government, the U.S. Navy, write that in there that would correlate to something that we already kind of knew?
But no, I don't know.
Like, do you know who
anything
these people are?
Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill.
Okay. Well, so you know a
Yeah,
little bit.
they were the first
Yeah.
abductees.
All right. Yep, they were. Stephen Miller confirms massive anti-fraud crackdown. I think we already know that. Exclusive. Billionaire kicks Eric Swalwell out of his mansion and wants $1 million back after heinous sex allegations. Yeah, he's a disgusting pig is what he is. He's not a good guy. He's resigning too. Thank goodness. I hope all of the creeps resign. Wouldn't that be nice? Actually, we still need to persecute them and throw them in jail because it's Marco Rubio. 100,000 U.S. troops and $60 billion a year defending Europe and zero help on Hormuz. Time to bring our troops home. No more free rides for Europe. That's good. Cat Turd puts this out. I fought tooth and nail to get Trump elected, and I'm going to enjoy the HE double toothpicks out of these 4 years. The Doomers and their sky is falling Jedi mind tricks and constant blackpilling doesn't work on me either. Their 24/7 negative feedback loop is for pessimistic losers. Losers. I'm having a blast and loving every minute of it. That's right. That is right. That's right, Aphrodite. That's it. Oh, look, they parked this carnival game down the road for free. Speed limit 25, your speed. High score 58. Can you beat it? Thanks, Jeff Foxworthy, for putting that out there. That's a Jeff Foxworthy post. Always humorous. Always humorous. And Nima Iadi puts this out. As an Iranian, let me tell you what at POTUS is talking about here. In Iran, if you protest, you die. Not metaphorically. Snipers on rooftops shoot people in the head and chest. In January, the regime massacred thousands in the streets, many of them young people whose only crime was demanding a normal life. When he says Iranians are telling the U.S., please keep bombing, he's describing a population so desperate to be free from a regime that murders them for protesting that they're willing to endure war if it means the system that has terrorized them for 47 years finally falls. You may not understand that. Most Westerners can't. You've never lived in a country where your daughter can be shot in the face for not covering her hair, where your son disappears into even prison, and you get a call to come pick up the body, where the internet goes dark so the world can't see the killing. That's what they have lived in that's what they have lived in a world that you know nothing about means. Before the media turns this into Trump wants to bomb civilians, understand that Iranian people have been begging the world to see them for years. This is the first U.S. president to say it out loud. Yes, Lady Patriot, PJ, put that out. Thanks. Oh, and here's from April 13th, 2017, 9 years ago, I posted this. Facebook puts these things, how to spot false news. And so I took that image and I fixed it. Yep. I fixed it. I know how to spot fake news. Fake news will have one of these logos that indicate you are watching fake news. Yeah, NBC, CNN, BBC, NPR, Fox News Channel, yes, Fox News, CBS News, ABC, and MSNBC, which is now NBC Now or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, trying to distance themselves from themselves. Minnesota is gone. Oh my goodness, this is really heartbreaking. American goes to explore uptown Minneapolis and Hennepin Avenue. She says this used to be the place to be. She's right. It used to be. In fact, Prince even wrote a song about it called Uptown. And it's a really cool song. And it really was true. Not anymore. There's nothing there. They're all empty. Very few places still in business. And it's because of the alien invasion and the Democrat rule. Listen to this.
So I've really been thinking about uptown Minneapolis, so I drove over here and we're going to figure out how vibrant it really is. Would you like to come along? Awesome. So once again, it's really freaking cold, but I just want to prove that, like, literally every storefront is empty. Like, every single one. It's awful. That used to be the Gap, and there was a Victoria's Secret. This is Chino Latino. Actually, this way long time ago was the Caribou Coffee. What's up, MPD? Even the cannabis can't make it. Empty, empty, empty. That whole stretch of 7 Points / Calhoun Square, empty.
Calhoun Square.
Empty, empty, empty. McDonald's can't even. McDonald's has its doors locked.
Wow.
I just walked past all of this, and I got to tell you, like, this was the place to be.
Yep.
Like, the place to be.
Yep.
And
He's right.
today, the Minneapolis City Council allowed all drug paraphernalia to be legal, which basically just means drugs, because I'm not stupid enough to fall for your rhetoric. You need to look up what paraphernalia means. Really? So I said the crack pipe without the crack, but we all know what goes in it. Empty. Williams Pub, rest in peace. Empty. Oh, we missed this one. Empty. Lord knows Uptown's struggles. Empty. Empty. The old library is really sad because that's a really cool building and it's just sitting there, sadly. This bus depot is a good idea, right? Should we see more empty storefronts or do you want to go down the mall? Tom Olson would love if we went down the mall. Shocker, retail space available. Nobody's surprised. Now this is 5:44 p.m. at a time when normally everyone would be getting off work and having happy hour or whatever down here, right? Prime space, prime time for people to hang out with their friends. Again, I've gone down here a million times. This ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it's insufferable. Somehow Bobby Beads survived. I'll show it to you. Look at this amazing relic in like 1995. West High School, which became the YWCA, which is now just a trash dump. So that's empty. Should we go up close? We highly recommend using locks, yeah. This is once vibrant, very highly used YWCA. It was the only gym in the area. LA Fitness was down the way. And of course you can see their apartment building. This is the other, this is uptown. There's like downtown, there's uptown. Uptown. D-E-A-D, dead. Should we look at more empty storefronts? Look at this beautiful mess. Oh really? Stronger together? Right. Empty. Empty. What's sad is young people like my son's age or in between my son and like me, like they don't know how great it was. Uncommon Ground has survived. I think it's probably because they own the building. Should I stop and get a coffee? Like if you don't know how good it could have been. So at the time that this place was awesome, Duluth was a disaster zone because the mines had just closed. And I lived in Duluth for a while in college, and it was depressing there because everything was closed. This is now the opposite. Closed. empty. Look, West High School. Over the years, our city has done some really stupid things, but destroying Uptown might top the list because Lake Street always had some challenges. It was always kind of some type of way with the corridor, although destroying Lake Street really kind of took work. But this is like epic failure because you have massive amounts of people. You have tons of young people who always want to socialize, and then you have wealth from Lake of the Isles just around the corner, and you F that up too. And in addition to making homeless encampments legal, a sex forest legal, and drugs legal, the city council is doing nothing to try to help revitalize business corridors. So I'm not sure how they think they're going to pay for it. Maybe Aureen will chip in on her honeymoon fund since she's getting married to a man who lives in Robbinsdale. See you out there. So I've really been thinking about Uptown.
Isn't that just sad? Now, we're going to take a little excursion over here because maybe you haven't heard this before, but this is just how vibrant that area was. It was so vibrant that in 1980, which is the year I graduated, Prince put this out, Uptown, and it really did. His song captured the feeling. And, you know, you could go to Ragstock, you could get like Swedish Army jackets. It was a real, and so much coolness. And here it is, a lot of energy for listening purpose, for educational purposes only, fair use. Prince, Uptown, 1980. Wait a minute. Oh, this is a partial of the song, and they skipped the chorus, which is the whole reason I wanted to play this. Oh well, so swell. Uptown by Prince. Look it up. It's a groovy little tune, and it talks about the vibrancy. You can be who you want to be. You know, you could go down Uptown, you'd see people with like really tall mohawks and punk people walking all over the place. They're going to get you for a copyright strike. Yeah, but fair use. That's fair use, you know. And if Prince was still alive, he would take that down. You wouldn't be able to find any Prince videos because he was constantly online taking stuff down, which is, I guess, his right. But it was really hard to find a video of Prince. When you did find one, sometimes you'd be halfway done watching it, and all of a sudden, it's gone. He found it and he got rid of it. But that's what he did. He put a lot of effort into his songs. He wanted to get paid for it. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him. All right. Well. Oh, and thank you again to Peggy Dancer. And let me just put this up here. What's going on here? Share screen. Window. Here it is. And there it is, a little bit of our chat there. And you can see at the bottom there is Piggy Dancers gifted 1 subscription to Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. And thanks, Piggy Dancer, Cap 78 pack. Thank you very much. All right. And so let's go back over there, shall we now? Uptown. It's where I want to be. Uptown, you can set your mind free. Uptown, got your body hot. Get down. I don't want to stop. No. Great lyrics. I mean, it's kind of a risque story he's telling there, but the backdrop is Uptown. Uptown was groovy like a record, you might even say. Groovy like a record. All right, let's go back. My friend Tom Gray was the one that shared that video. And this is epic. This is Trump. Interesting that he put this out right around the fervor of him allegedly putting an image of himself, Jesus-like. So funny. He's the master troller. Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID, when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for holding church services, even when going outside and being 10, even 20 feet apart. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States, and even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers, into our country. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime and creating the greatest stock market in history. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be pope and was only put there by the church because he was an American, and they thought that would be the best way to deal with Trump, President Donald J. Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod, a loser from the left, who is one of those who wanted churchgoers and clerics to be arrested. Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. It's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church. President Donald J. Trump. Yes. Interesting. That's from Dan Bongino. And look at this. Now, someone made this video. They didn't mention who took the video. It was Stan Romanek. Man records ET spying on him. So I think I'm just going to turn off the audio because the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So
this guy right here recorded this extraterrestrial being.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to you. It's Stan Romanek, video recording another alien that was peeking in his window. It's like the second one that he caught. And if you watch the original video with his audio, you can tell he was shocked. So either it was really a real alien or someone pranking him with a doll, putting it there and moving it. But it looks kind of creepy real, actually. Kind of creepy real. To me, it looks pretty real. I tried taking a screenshot and enhancing it. There's just not enough digital information there, not enough information there to make it a good picture. So it's just always going to be fuzzy. So fuzzy. So fuzzy. Stan Romanek, great guy. He was really done wrong. Philip Ziba, sketchy business as usual. Nothing to see here. Yeah, he goes over the Tyler Robinson murder of Charlie Kirk and kind of puts a laser point on the things that we all noticed. And it's pretty disturbing. Here it is.
Is this going to be our generation's JFK conspiracy theory? Because
buffering.
So when did you find out they paved over the area where Charlie Kirk got shot just 5 days after it happened? Or what Google search terms were trending in the White House region just a few days before alleged gunner Tyler Robinson is said to have sniped Kirk from a rooftop about 200 yards away? With initial claims stating the company behind the paving job was Precision Granite and Marble LLC, owned by Matt Robinson, Tyler Robinson's dad. Now, later reports interjected, claiming the official contractor remains undisclosed, and somehow no one really knows who was actually behind the job. But still, why pour cement and bricks all over the crime scene of such a high-profile incident just a few days later? Which they did on a Sunday, just the most rushed and spontaneous paving contract you could ever imagine. Oh, because they claim it was part of a routine post-incident restoration and safety cleanup after investigators had finished processing the scene. Restoration and safety cleanup by permanently paving over the site with bricks? Right, I'm sure that's exactly what it was. Just like how searches for Tyler James Robinson, the full name of the main suspect behind the shooting, skyrocketed on September 12th when the police caught him. Which makes sense. Everyone wanted to know who he was and were looking him up. But if you go back just a little bit on Google Trends, we see a small spike for this very specific name on September 9th. The day before it happened. And zooming in, we see that search spike just so happens to come out of the Washington, D.C. region, where, you know, the U.S. government operates from. Kind of weird, don't you think? I'm sure it's nothing, but it doesn't end there. Because searches for the term LoC Center, which is the name of the campus building that Tyler shot from, also sees a totally random spike in search activity on September 8th. 2 days before it happened out of, you guessed it, the DC area. And again, we see the huge surge here after the rest of us found out where it happened. Or the search term Mauser 98, a fairly obscure vintage German bolt-action rifle from World War II that happened to be Robinson's very specific weapon of choice for the job, saw its own nothing to see here spike in search volume on August 27th, exactly 2 weeks before the incident. Once again, from the capital DC region of the United States. Not implying anything here, just showing you the Carfax. As a matter of fact, you can even look this up yourself to confirm. This is publicly available data on Google Trends after all. Oh wait, never mind, you actually can't, because when you search those terms within those time windows now, the data is gone. So now we get a divide. The conspiracy theorists are going to claim the government and Google is scrubbing the search data from the internet, rewriting reality, making it seem like it was never there to begin with. Yep. Ministry of Truth style, 6 feet under. And the debunkers are just going to insist the search data was never even there in the first place, that all these images posted by multiple different accounts online are all fake and edited to spread a false narrative, even though we have people coming out with new video angles of the incident, saying the FBI is reaching out and telling them to delete the footage from their phones because it might trigger PTSD. And Judge Tony Graff, appointed to this case, issued a sweeping gag order restricting attorneys, law enforcement, and the over 3,000 plus witnesses at the event from making any public statements about the incident. Oh, and also stated that no cameras are allowed in the courtroom during this public trial. But you know, they're definitely not trying to hide anything here. These are all just silly little coincidences, business as usual, and none of this is real. Which honestly, at this point, we can never actually know what even is real anymore. Is this going to be our generation?
JFK, yeah. Conspiracy. Yeah, it sure is shaping up to be, isn't it? I mean, I wonder if it'll take 60 years to get the truth on that. Oh, here's Afro Man again, rocking it. Rock it, Afro Man. He's killing it. What? Look at these moves he's got. He's floating. There we go. He's living his best life. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? We all have to live our life like Afro Man does. Did you see this? Look at Swalwell. He just has a kind of an evil, empty look about him. There's an empty look about him. Very empty. Not new husband and influencer threatens lawsuit against Eric Swalwell. Claims he once sent his wife unsolicited nudes and showed up at her home. Yeah, arrest that creepazoid. Oh, and here's Anthony Brock talking about the baby boat. Check it out.
So I gave this baby goat to the internet the other day. And in the last video, more than 8,000 of you guys from across social media commented your best name suggestion. And might I say, there is no lack of creativity on the internet. So what I did is I pulled all the top names across social media. And these are your 7 finalists.
Tiberius Gotimus Maximus, first of his name, son of Gordon Ramsay, heir to the barn.
Some of you guys have way too much time on your hands.
Rocky Balboa, Rambo, Buck Norris, Billy the Kid, Goaty Juan Kenobi, Jean-Claude Van Ram.
And I had to add my own choice, Boss the Hoss, because most of you guys found me on the Who's the Boss series, and he's eventually going to be the boss. So here's the rules. First, share this video. How are we going to make this goat famous if you're not sharing? Second, comment one name. Then at the end of 48 hours, I'm going to tally up all the names. And finally, this little guy will have a name. It's all done, buddy. It's all done. It's all done.
There you go.
Calm it down. Calm it down. So I gave this baby.
There he is, Anthony Brock. And Benny Show put this out. LT Jonathan Kendrick. I will not abandon this man. How could you? How could anyone abandon him? Marjorie Taylor Brown. Oh, this is great. I love it when they take musicians take a cat. The Kiffness. Oh. And they make music from cats. So check this out.
So I say, hey, looka, please go away, looka, hey, hey. I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. So I say, hey, looka, please go away, looka, hey, hey. Please go away.
All right. Don't you love it? Cat music. Oh, and what's this? Let's watch this.
out of the 4 murders in Fairfax County, Virginia so far this year have been allegedly at the hands of illegal immigrants, including a stabbing at a bus stop, a machete hacking of a man in his own home, and a beating murder of a 3-month-old infant. And just last week, a Haitian illegal alien caught and released at the border, then granted TPS by the Biden administration, was arrested after he was caught on video using a hammer to brutally bludgeon a gas station clerk to death in a seemingly random attack. The victim was a mother of 2, and several GOP politicians are outraged about it. Senator Jim Banks writing, quote, "Another innocent life taken by a violent illegal allowed into our country by Joe Biden. We must deport every illegal." Senator Tommy Tuberville writing, quote, "Reminder, DHS has been shut down for 52 days because Democrats refuse to fund the agencies responsible for detaining and deporting these animals. He should."
Yeah, it's so sad. Oh, check this out. This is interesting. From Primal Resistance is with Oasis.
The CIA literally wrote down how they were going to poison the food supply, and not theoretically. They planned it, and then they did it, and nobody stopped them. Project Artichoke, CIA, 1951. The stated goal, it was to determine whether a person could be involuntarily made to perform an act of attempted assassination. But that's not the part that should scare you. The memo proposes hiding behavior-altering chemicals in food, in water, in Coca-Cola, in beer, in cigarettes, in vaccines, all administered without detection, without consent. Their words, not mine. Look at page 4. Look at that list. Look at the ingredients in your cereal, in your water, in the baby formula on your shelf. And ask yourself whether the program ended or whether it just got a marketing department. This is why I use Oasis. Point it at anything you're about to eat. It shows you exactly what's inside. Independent lab data, no brand influence, just the information that was supposed to be on the label before someone decided you didn't need to know. Now let me show you who was running this. Sidney Gottlieb, CIA chemist. They called him poisoner in chief. He ran Artichoke. Then he ran MK Ultra. Gottlieb believed, and this is documented, that there was a way to influence and control the human mind that could lead to quite literally global mastery. He gave Gottlieb unlimited funding, no oversight, no ethics board, no limits. But this is where it gets darker. Before Gottlieb, the CIA was already running Project Bluebird, and Bluebird's early experiments were conducted at black sites in Germany, run by a man named Walter Schreiber. Schreiber was a former Nazi Surgeon General. The CIA brought him to America through Operation Paperclip, gave him a visa, put him to work. Nazi concentration camp doctors designing the American food program. That's not theory, that's a personnel file, and they tested it on civilians. August 1951, a small village in southern France, 250 residents wake up hallucinating, seeing demons, crawling walls, jumping from buildings. 7 people die, 50 are committed to asylums. They blame the bread from the local bakery. The CIA put LSD in their flour supply. They contaminated the bread. They sat back and they documented everything. An entire village possessed by bread. They were studying how to break someone's will, how to make them suggestible, how to erase their memory of what just happened. That's how casually they decided to drug. The program officially ended. Gottlieb destroyed the files, shredded thousands of documents. You know what he got? He got a slap on the wrist. He retired to a farm in Virginia. But the 1952 memo proposed compounds that create anxiety, nervousness, tension, or the opposite, depression, hopelessness, lethargy. Nazi scientists built the program. The CIA funded it. They tested it on a French village. They proposed putting it in the food supply. Then they destroyed the evidence. And you're telling me it stopped? The CIA literally wrote down how
the CIA should not exist. Here's Congressman Brandon Gill. Let's hear what he has to say. He's a good guy.
I have a constituent of mine whose young son was killed by an illegal alien who was driving a massive 18-wheeler in my district. You know, the American people are sick of our people being killed because foreigners who don't speak our language and can't follow our laws and our traffic regulations are killing us on our own streets. It's really, really sickening. And that's exactly why the American people elected President Trump and Republicans in the House and the Senate so that we could put an end to this. Every single one of these aliens who is on our roads and everywhere in our country, of course, needs to be deported. That's what we were elected to do, and that's what we're going to do. I have a constituent of mine who...
That's so sad that he had a constituent Oh, and this is, look at this. Redline Race Day put this out. Redline, he's talking about the red wall tires on the 1968 first year Hot Wheels. And I remember these. This was a cool car. I think I did have this one too. And each one of those originals came with a little stamped metal badge with a bend over thing you could put over your pocket or wear it like over the opening on the top of your t-shirt. And it had the rendering of the car, the name of it, and of course Mattel Hot Wheels. So cool. I mean, wow. They really launched that so well. And it's still going today. And unlike other toys, it's sold in grocery stores, everywhere that people have money and they're buying things, whether it be food or what, there's Hot Wheels there. It's pretty cool to see. And let's see, Eric Keller, too, started as a casual reader of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Then he became obsessed and built the most extensive network graph of the sexual predator's shadowy world. He built the definitive Epstein database, and it consumed his life. There are descriptions of things no human being should have experienced. Eric Keller, too, has a personal reason for pouring himself into this project. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, he tells Wired. It's why he can't seem to look away from the horror inside those files. And so he builds instead of thinking about one category of documents, I started thinking about the network. How do you connect a person who appears in the email? And I can't read the rest of that. But yeah, that's, yeah. I don't want to go and read that stuff because I don't want that crap in my head, you know? But I'm glad that he did that and found this so researchers can use that as a tool to figure out who all the creeps are. Yeah, zoinks. Trump is firing dozens of immigration judges who stonewalled deportation. New York Times confirms. Good. Look at how happy Holman looks. He looks like he's getting younger, doesn't he? He's a happy guy. Here's a story about Elvis. Filmed August 2011, Elvis remembered by Red West on the George Klein show. And Red West, he tells how he became friends with Elvis back in high school. Let's listen to this. It's pretty interesting. And of course, this guy here, George Klein, he was the original DJ that spun the Elvis record, the first Elvis record. So check it out.
You're up on the third floor bathroom at Humes High School. Yeah. Elvis is in there, and you pick up the story.
Well, you know, I know that we weren't close. It was a small school. We knew each other. Elvis was always different. As he made more progress later on in the music industry, he had to be different. Well, he was the same way in high school, but nobody knew who Elvis was then. You know, I just knew him casually, and I happened to walk in the bathroom one day, and the bullies, there's three guys two were holding him, and they were going to cut his hair. Yeah, because we all had crew cuts, and his hair was back, long. Yeah, and we're just going to cut his hair, and I happened to walk in. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Oh, we're going to give him a haircut." I said, "Doesn't look like he wants the haircut." No, well, we're not going to hurt him. Yeah. I said, no. If you cut his hair, you're going to cut my hair. And I had a crew cut, and I said, I don't think you can do that. And they saw that I was serious, and they backed off. And that was it.
That was really the bonding of you and Elvis.
Yeah.
He never forgot that.
No, I know he didn't.
First of all, you were the first official bodyguard Elvis hired. Yeah. How did that happen? Yeah.
I was getting on, I was a year behind. We were going to play Bartlett in a scrimmage game. Now I was getting on the bus. Elvis had 2 records out, I think.
Yeah.
And he happened to drive up in that little old green, whatever that car was he was driving.
Green Lincoln, yeah.
I was just getting ready to get on the bus to go out to Bartlett. And he got out of the car, and I saw him, and I was real proud. I hadn't seen him since he had these records. Hey, man. And I walked over. We had a conversation, and he said, how would you like to go with me on some of these one-nighters around, I said, hey, fine. So I started going, and, I stand backstage, and I see all this commotion going on. I said, what's going on here, And that was it.
You once told me down somewhere early on in Elvis's career, he said, here, Red, I'm going to give you one of my guitars or something. This is my first gift or something
he gave me that. When I was going to college, when I got the scholarship.
Jones County.
We were on the road coming back from a one-night stand somewhere. We were driving through Corinth, Mississippi. All of a sudden, he hit the brake, swerved, and went in. I'm sitting in the car waiting. He came out, handed me some car keys, said, that's yours over there. It's an A model, 1927 A model.
Really?
And I said, man.
But you're up on the third floor bathroom at Humes High School.
That's
Elvis is in there. You pick up the story.
That's that. Interesting, huh? Good old Red. Nice guy. And here's this guy, Philip Zeba, again, talking about the egg-shaped UFO that this guy was talking about. You might have heard about it about a year ago or so. This story came out. Oops. Here, let's check this out.
Okay, we gotta talk about this egg UFO they found in Antarctica. The one that was leaked by a supposed government whistleblower on a certain website that shall not be named. This blower claims to have been part of the recovery mission of a very interesting UAP that's allegedly of ancient origin. UFOs and ancient civilizations? I'm about to blow a little something myself. Your mind. This egg-shaped UAP, as it's being called, was found deep in a cave in the Queen Elizabeth mountain range in Antarctica, along with a 700-year-old humanoid being in a stasis pod who was still alive, woke up, and talked to us. Reminder, this is just speculation from an anonymous post and is for entertainment purposes only. Did you hear that algorithm? Our whistleblower says he worked for the U.S. Department of Defense in a long Q&A style post with some pretty juicy info, starting the thread off by telling us this video was taken in November of 2022, showing what appears to be a large, smooth, spherical object, not unlike a lot of the Tic Tac UAPs we've been seeing, dangling at the end of a long rope being airlifted by a helicopter. He insists it's an egg-shaped UAP of ancient origin, made from an unknown metal that no one was able to open. Now, let me just preface everything I'm about to reveal by saying the site this leak was posted on isn't exactly known for being a reliable source of valid information, but on the other hand, is known for being notoriously anonymous, which admittedly would be ideal for whistleblowers who wish to stay hidden. Either way, take this all with a grain of salt, because what is interesting is that the video shown here is extremely similar to another one released by News Nation, a legitimate American cable news and video network just days earlier. And once again, their video shows an egg-shaped UAP in the same night vision filter dangling at the end of a long rope hanging from a helicopter, which they confirm was leaked to them by another whistleblower that they themselves validated. Two separate videos just a few days apart, both with the same looking egg UFO. Is there something to this, or is it all just a coordinated distraction? Along with the video, News Nation also interviewed Jake Barber, a decorated U.S. Air Force veteran who was contracted by the DoD as a helicopter pilot for crash retrieval, and he reveals that some of his retrievals were definitely not of human origin. He admits that he was sent on helicopter retrievals of unknown objects that he would extract and transport with a long rope, missions that took place at night, and mentions on one particular extraction as he looked down at the object he was carrying through his night vision lens, he saw, and I quote, an egg. A white egg with no visible propulsion system, which is exactly what we see in both of the videos, confirmed by the one manning the helicopter. And bro looks shell-shocked revealing these claims, saying he felt possessed by some ethereal energy during this job, and that shortly after, he and his colleagues got really sick, lost all of his hair, and his skin started to peel. Even developed heart problems he's never had before, so Stanford immunologist Gary Nolan took a look at his health diagnostics, insisting he's never seen anything like what Barber and his team experienced, even even suggesting the sickness may not be of earthly origin. Jake's claims are also backed up by testimonies from many other of his fellow veterans, like Don Paul, another decorated Special Forces operator who worked with Jake Barber and confirms everything he's saying. Now, along with the egg UAP, the original whistleblower thread reveals that a coffin-like stasis pod was also recovered from the cave in Antarctica, which he says he has pics of, and well, he delivered. According to him, this pod they found had a humanoid being inside that was kept alive without the use of cryogenics. They brought it up to a lab, and very quickly the being awoke from its stasis sleep pod and started interacting with the humans. It was very tall, around 8 feet, with blue eyes, pale skin, white long hair, and a very human-like face, while at the same time looking very non-human. This, in ufology, would be what we call the Nordic aliens, or the tall whites. It proved to be very intelligent, learning English and German in less than a week, and was able to speak directly to the scientists, and can also communicate with select humans telepathically, which you would hear as your voice in your own head, like giving yourself a monologue. The being explained to the team that he was born here 700 years ago, and that his people saved humans from a creator race who engineered us to serve them millions of years ago, which is pretty much exactly what the ancient Sumerian Anunnaki myth is about, which the alien said humanity passed that story down from that very real event. The whistleblower says they even took photos of its thing, which, in case you're wondering, looks like ours, but the tip is more similar to a chimpanzee. His words, please don't look that up. He did also mention that our government has a sort of internal division on what they want to do with this sort of information. That everyone involved falls into one of two groups, those that want disclosure, revealing aliens and UFOs to the public, and those that don't. And that all the UAP Congress hearings, the News Nation video, the Jake Barber leaks we've been shown are all just distractions by the people who want to keep it hidden. Then he shows us additional photos of the egg, the stasis pod, the Antarctic cave they found everything in, which he claims is from the other group. The cave was part of a larger underground alien base that had been there for thousands of years, but has since been abandoned. All they found there was the egg, the sleeping pod, and another metallic box filled with books written in Sumerian and Proto-European. One of the photos even feature what he calls unexplained writing, possibly hieroglyphics, on the walls. These caves were supposedly found in the Queen Elizabeth mountain range in Antarctica, which, oddly enough, this area specifically is extremely pixelated on Google Earth when you zoom in. Meanwhile, other areas right beside it are full of detail. Is there any reason this region was kept off the radar? Our totally reliable 4chan whistleblower finishes off with a very concerning message, claiming that something called the Dwight D. Eisenhower Alliance is very real, where former President Eisenhower met with some of these aliens way back in the 50s and traded American civilians in exchange for their technology, which they studied and developed in classified government projects. But by this time, the thread started going off the rails, with the OP claiming it was hijacked by government disinformation agents pretending to be him, posting another close-up shot of the infamous egg UAP that even shows some sort of markings and writing all over it, but it could very well be AI at this point, which it kind of sucks that AI has sort of infiltrated our sphere of tangible evidence. And today, even real UFO and alien photos and videos could easily be dismissed as AI and mocked. Pics or it didn't happen is officially irrelevant. We do know, at least with a higher degree of certainty, that the News Nation video could very well be real, and this egg UAP is currently in the government's possession, unless this really is just a massive distraction to cover up what's really happening, which honestly would be even more terrifying. But if it is real, I have a feeling that whatever it is will be revealed to us sooner than later. Okay, we gotta talk about...
And we gotta say something about this too. Think about it. It's an egg. An alien ship that's an egg. Who would be interested in that? Yes, Egghead. Egghead might be behind this, or he might try to steal it. So Batman better get on the job and protect that egg, or maybe bring it out into the public. Oh, this is good. Swalwell. Remember when you said we should believe all women? Yeah, he did. When he was going after Trump. Yeah, he's just not good. Here's a great patriot. Look at this. D.D. Bollinger, walk away campaign. Good morning. It was only a few short months ago where I talked about walking away from the Democratic Party after sharing my truth on how the POTUS helped my city, Memphis, Tennessee, with the National Guard. I was fired from my local newspaper for telling the truth. From there, it was my goal and dream to meet the POTUS. I never thought it would happen, but it did. I met the 45 and 47th POTUS, Mr. Donald J. Trump. He listened to my story and empathized with me. What a president. I'm so honored and so blessed. I was even invited to the White House afterwards. Walking away from the Democrat Party has truly changed my life for the better. And I love me some President Donald Trump. He called me his MVP, and I couldn't be more proud of myself for having the courage. Oh, isn't this what a nice story? Oh, see, look at that. Walking away could be the beginning of something awesome from that Democrat Party. Democrat Party, not Democratic Party, right? Oh, an O'Keefe Media Group, James O'Keefe. I think we're going to skip this one. Skip this one. Release the Swalwell files, Fang files, Nannygate, California residency, interns and staff harassment, gastrointestinal problems. Yes, he farted on camera a couple times. America can never be home for anti-American terrorists or their families, and under the Trump administration, it never will. Marco Rubio. And here is that Bob Lazar tells all, debriefed 83, and I think that's going to be on X. Follow That Dream, 1962, the year I was born. This is so good. If you haven't seen Follow That Dream, you should go and see it because it is epic. Watch this.
I'm going out and tell the folks they have to go home at 11 o'clock.
I can't let you do that, Toby.
Oh, why not?
Oh, because I like you. And the boys like you. Right, boys? Right, Nick, right. Being a sheriff can be a very dangerous thing. Like, if you walk around out there with that badge on, you might make some of our players nervous. And some of our players get very rough when they get nervous. See? You don't want to be no sheriff, Toby. Terrible things happen to sheriffs.
Like what, Nick?
Blackie, tell him. Sure, boss. Explain it to him, good.
The full treatment?
Yeah, the full treatment.
Educational.
I appreciate it very much, Nick.
My pleasure. You'll excuse us, Carmine and I have some business to take care of.
Sure. Nice talking to you again.
Let me tell you about some of the things the sheriff runs up against. First, don't you have a gun or a club?
Oh, I don't see no need for it. I figure if a man's going to be a peace officer, he shouldn't go around looking unpeaceful.
No gun, no club.
But I can wrestle. I can wrestle real good.
Yeah, but suppose someone sneaked up behind you. Yeah. And grabbed your arms like this. And another one was in front of you and he had a sack like this. And he wrapped it around his wrist like this. You'd be helpless, wouldn't you?
Unless I'd done something like this. Fellas.
Blackie? I'm sorry, I was just showing.
Al?
Blackie? I think they've had enough time. Why don't you run the station wagon around back and we'll hand his body out through the window.
What will I do with him?
Well, if he's still breathing, drop him off at the nearest hospital. What happened?
They were showing me how I shouldn't get hurt. I should wake up so I could apologize to them. They can hear me now.
Oh, I don't think so either. Al? Al! Hey, Blackie. Blackie!
I didn't mean to hurt him. Go back to my business.
Where you going?
I'm going to...
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? There was a gambling. They were doing illegal gambling there, and so interesting. Follow That Dream. It's a great movie, and I really think Elvis should have got some kind of an award for his acting in that. He really did a great job. Great job. Oh, and this guy right here, a 22-year-old just ran a muscle car on fuel made from plastiline. Have you heard of this guy? Oh yeah, he's a dynamo. Check it out.
A 22-year-old just ran a muscle car on fuel made from plastic waste. Meet Julian Brown, who turned trash into 110-octane gasoline in his backyard. Here's what makes this insane. He live streamed the whole thing from Atlanta. Started with an empty tank and a car that wouldn't start. He fills it with plastiline, his plastic-converted fuel. Hits the ignition, and boom, the engine fires up. But here's what they're not telling you. Julian didn't invent plastic-to-fuel conversion. That tech's been around for decades. What he invented was the world's first solar-powered continuous microwave pyrolysis reactor. He made the process cheap and renewable, and he built it with zero corporate backing. This isn't just innovation. Lab tests showed his Palsoline diesel has better emissions than regular diesel. One inventor with a backyard lab just embarrassed every oil company on earth. A 22-year-old just ran a muscle car on fuel made from plastic waste.
Isn't that cool? Yes, very awesome. Oh, and the other day I ran into Heidi Pop over at the Droomhaus, her sister's place out over here on Jefferson Street. And there's her son, Huck. He was doing dishes. He was a dishwasher that day. So had a lot of fun with our friend Heidi Pop. Heidi Pop. And so she doesn't live in LA anymore. She lives in Sturgeon Bay. And she says, nice to have a surprise visit from local pal Aaron Moriarty of Truth Quest. Always a laugh and thoughtful share. There you go. I call for all COVID-19 vaccines to be removed from the market, all requirements and mandates for vaccination to be dropped. Dr. Peter McCullough. Yeah. And here he is right here. One more. He does it in a Rolls Royce. Puts it in a Rolls Royce. Watch this. Plastiline.
Alabama, it's time to make history. Plastic waste made gasoline. Plastiline is going to be going inside the world's first Rolls Royce this Saturday, March 21st. Go to naturejab.com/Alabama to RSVP. Do not miss history. Woo! Alabama, it's time to make.
How do you like that? Too cool for school. Well, gosh, here he is with his little setup here. But I think we're going to go over to, oh, and did you hear this? Bridge to Glory. Trump administration shares plans for a privately funded 250-foot triumphal arch near Arlington Memorial Bridge. Wow, look at that. One nation under God. Remember he said we're going to reinstate one nation under God. This is a pretty epic way to do it right there. Look at that. Look at that, would you? Oh, maybe we got to watch this first. Phil Corso. Read his book, The Day After Roswell. It is the disclosure book, folks. Check it out. Check what he talks about here.
I had a piece of metal. Atoms were lined in it.
But the thing about that got me is that you couldn't even bend it. You couldn't bend it.
So tough, paper thin, you couldn't break it, bend it, or anything.
Even with a sledgehammer would bounce off it. So I knew that I had never seen anything like that before. And as of now, I don't know what it was.
The atoms were lined in it. You couldn't burn it, you couldn't cut it. And later on, the nearest thing in this world that we found to that was a spider web. Because a spider spins an atomic aligned web. I had a piece of metal. Atoms.
All right, Phil Corso. The atoms were aligned right in a row, so it's impervious, just like a spider silk. Spider silk, all the atoms go right, the molecules go right next to each other, all lined up, and that's why spider silk is so strong, so strong. All righty then. Well, let's go on over to X for a very brief time and see what's happening all over there. Shall we now? Here we are. There's our show, episode 757. Share it out to your friends. And here is John Stewart. He's been on the show. We'll have to have him back again. And let's see, with proof of the U.S. government's Project Aquarius program, with the USAP code designated R4800 and the security level of Yankee White 27. Let's see.
These are video screens up here, television, video monitors, and they're off at an angle. If this was shot using a video camera with lines on it, we would see moire patterns up there. And we don't see the moire patterns. So there's a probability that this was shot originally on.
Of course it was on film originally. There he is, stirring it up. And he gave a talk to the government about it. And here is Balthazar again talking. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Well, it's a repelling force, but I think it's something that works closer to the way you would think in a science fiction movie. You can have gravity and anti-gravity, but you really can. I think gravity is just an attractive force. I think this other force, you can to simplify it, push or pull. And I think it also affects the flow of time exactly like gravity does. I think it affects light. It does some of the observations you would have with gravity would also overlap in this other force, but I think it's a unique force.
Have you ever measured this force? Next question.
All right. Yeah.
You have.
Yeah. Well, it's a repelling force, but I think it's something that works closer to the way you would think in a science fiction movie. You can have gravity and anti-gravity, but you really can't.
Isn't that interesting? So he admitted that he is experimenting with this, and he's allegedly left there where he was working back in '89 with some of that element 115. So has he been working on it? Has he been working on it in secret, or has he been working on it where the government is helping him? I don't know. Maybe that's why he's still alive. I don't know. It's puzzling. It's puzzling. Oh, yep. He's resigning. Scumbag. Oh, this is so funny. Let's watch this. Tripping. The last kid pretends to so he could fit in. Let's watch it again. The last kid just faked it. He didn't want to be the only kid that didn't fall. He stepped on this so he didn't get tripped. So funny. So funny. You want to trip a kid? Put him in a tent. Tell him to come out. Oh, and here is that image of Trump that the left is claiming that he thinks that he's Jesus. And this guy here, MJ Truth Ultra, really puts a fine point to it.
I know. I'm supposed to be outraged because the moral outrage crowd tells me that I'm supposed to be outraged. And yet I'm having a really hard time finding a reason to be outraged, because I learned a very long time ago that literally everything Donald Trump says and does in the public square is strategic. Everything, every post is strategic. Every time that he holds a press gaggle outside of Air Force One or outside the White House, Literally every word that he uses is meant to be strategic. Everything is strategic. So when he posts things that seem like maybe they're going over the line, I learned a long time ago, instead of being outraged, the question I should probably ask is, what exactly is he trying to get us to pay attention to?
Right.
And the other problem is I can't really figure out what I'm supposed to be upset about in this picture. Is it the American symbolism in the photograph? Is it the military veterans and active duty military? Is it the nurse that's with him? Is it the young lady praying along with Donald Trump as he lays hands on the sick? Is that what I'm supposed to be upset about? See, the problem is I've actually read my Bible, and I don't know if you know this or not, but we are all supposed to be laying hands on the sick. As a matter of fact, it says it right here in the Great Commission, verse 18. They will take up serpents, and if they drink anything deadly, it will by no means hurt them. And they will lay hands on the sick, and they will recover. Yes, that means me and you. And the President of the United States is also included in the Great Commission, where we're supposed to be laying hands on the sick, including a sick and broken nation. But Patriot Dad, don't you know that it's blasphemy to depict yourself as Jesus? Wait, you think that's supposed to be a depiction of Jesus? For the Monday Morning Armchair Bible Scholar Group, show me anywhere in Scripture where Jesus is depicted wearing a gleaming white robe and a red cape. Show me, because there's ample evidence of Jesus wearing a resurrected white robe. And in Revelations, there's also evidence of him reappearing wearing a blood-soaked robe. But nowhere in there is Jesus ever depicted wearing a white tunic and a red cape. But you know who is depicted like that? These people. That's right. These folks. The ones that Donald Trump was actively engaged in a back and forth on, because the Pope decided to insert himself into politics right after a meeting with Obama lackeys and came out and condemned our activities in Iran, which is really weird because I went to look through the Pope's messages and I didn't seem to find a single instance of him condemning the Iranian regime for slaughtering up to 40,000 of their own citizens. I also can't find anywhere in recent comments of the current Pope condemning the slaughter of Christians in Nigeria. But these people wear white robes and red capes. Or maybe it's because I can just go back to the source of the original painting that was posted by Nick Adams back on February 4th. A painting in which he said, America has been sick for a long time. President Trump is healing this nation. So do you remember back earlier when I said that I've learned how to wait to figure out where Donald Trump is taking this? And do you also remember a few weeks ago where I walked you through every single one of the agenda points of Agenda 47? And Donald Trump has already succeeded or is in the process of completing 19 out of all of the 20 agenda items. And do you know which one has not yet been started? National unity, healing a nation, which is weird because that's exactly what we are all called to do, to lay hands on the sick and they will be healed.
How do you like that? Very good. Very good. Oh, this is great. Watch this.
Men with no hose. Where are you? What are you doing? Men with no hose. Where are you? What are you?
They're making cat music is what they're doing. Oh, you know what? I don't think I'm getting the chats from the YouTube. They're not showing up over here. I see Lucid Heart Evolution is here. Hi, everyone. Lucid Heart. Maybe it's up here, but maybe I missed it. Let me see. Boy, Valeronian is really cranking out a lot of information there. Thanks for doing that. Oh, here it is. Lucid Heart Evolution. Hello there, Lucid Heart Evolution. And there's let's see. Oh, here's Kathy saying hi to Lucid Heart Evolution. And so there's that. Isn't that funny? So we have 2 cat music things. Elon Musk just told Tucker Carlson something. The rest of Silicon Valley won't. Let's hear what it is.
The reality of what's happening, whether one likes it or not, is that we're building super intelligent AIs, hyper intelligent, like intelligent, more intelligent than we can comprehend.
Yes.
So I would liken this to, like, let's say you have a child that is a super genius child that you know it's going to be much smarter than you. Then, well, what can you do? You can instill good values in how you raise that child. So
Yes.
even though you know it's going to be far smarter than you, you can make sure it's got good values, philanthropic values, good morals, honest, productive, that kind of thing. Controlling, at the end of the day, I don't think we'll be able to control it. So I think the best we can do is make sure it grows up well. The reality of what's happening.
Make sure it grows up well with good morals. Yes. And that's why I like the fact that he named his robot Optimus, because Optimus Prime in the Transformers saga, I'm always struck whenever I watch a movie or a cartoon. Optimus Prime has more humanity than most humans. So, yeah. Get Optimus Prime from Transformers to guide AI. I think that would be a very good move. Very good move. Oh, look at this cat. This is Jack, a cat with pharyngeal paralysis, however you say that, causes him to have the deepest meow. Listen to this cat. He's talking. Whoops.
This is Jack.
We'll start over again.
This is Jack.
Wow.
His voice is a little deeper than most cats.
A lot deeper.
Hey, buddy. You say hi? You say hi?
No.
Good boy.
I thought that was really cool. Wow. Wow. Oh, this is really good. This is interesting. This is a good story. Check this out. It's less than 2 minutes long.
So this teacher made parents furious and was even called crazy after removing all desks from her classroom when school began. But what she did next left everyone speechless. You see, back in 2005, on the first day of school, students at Joe T. Robinson High walked into something they had never seen before. A classroom with an empty floor where history teacher Martha Cothran was standing there quietly, waiting for them to react. Confused, the kids looked around and asked, "Miss Cothran, where are our desks?" But she didn't answer their question. Instead, she gave them a challenge. You can't have a desk until you tell me how you earn the right to sit at one. Naturally, the answers came fast. Grades, behavior, community service, but every answer was still wrong. By second period, the confusion had turned into whispers. By third, parents were calling the office. And by lunchtime, the story had spread so far that local news crews were gathering outside her classroom to find out why she had done all this. Still, every period, no one could answer correctly, and the students ended up lining the walls, some even so tired that they began sitting on the floor, waiting for someone, anyone, to solve the mystery. Finally, during the last class of the day, Martha told them they were going to learn the truth at last. She walked to the door, opened it, and the entire class froze, hit hard by what they saw. 27 U.S. military veterans, some older, some younger, some in uniform, slowly filed in, each one carrying a school desk. One by one, they placed the desks in perfect rows. Then they stepped back and stood silently along the walls beside the students. After that, Martha turned to her class and said softly, "You didn't earn the right to sit at these desks. These heroes did it for you. They paid the price through sacrifice, through service, through time away from their own families, so you could enjoy something as simple and as precious as sitting in this classroom, learning in freedom. Now it's your responsibility to honor it. Don't ever forget that." Later, she was awarded Arkansas's VFW Teacher of the Year, and her powerful lesson spread nationwide, a story still shared today. And for her students that day, it became the most unforgettable history lesson they would ever experience.
Isn't that nice? And good night. Catherine Weiss has said good night. Here's another feel-good story. Trump Girl on Fire put this out, and this is really adorable. Let's check this out. Oh, okay, turn it up.
Excuse me. Hi. I don't mean to interrupt you guys. I document people's stories online, and I saw her hat. I was just super curious and interested if there's maybe something you would be willing to share about your life.
She noticed that you're a veteran.
That would be nice. I'm 104, and I will be 105 in April.
Almost 105. So her birthday's April 24th, 1921.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm Kara.
Oh, hello, I'm Ella.
Hi, I'm Robin.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. You might become famous.
Am I going to be on TV?
You can always pull up a chair if you would like to and join us.
Okay?
Yeah.
The war was on, World War II. I joined the Navy all by myself when I was beautiful. We were so lucky. Later on, I was a bus driver, and it was a good job. I liked it. The kids could be naughty or they could be nice. But it was fun. I did that until I retired, trying to learn the books of the Bible. I know the old pretty well. I haven't finished them yet.
Because that much you can't sleep at night. She tries to just remember the books of the Bible. But that keeps her mind going.
Jesus loves me.
Oh. So a lot of times when my mom will make her appointments, they'll be like, when was she born? And then a few times it doesn't work. Like the system doesn't work anymore because it's just over 100 years. What should we do for your 105th birthday?
Take me to a dance. Let's make it a hip hop. I love to dance.
What is one thing that you collect?
You wouldn't believe. I must have 200 teddy bears.
What is your secret to staying so young and beautiful?
You know what it is? Eating peanut butter.
What? That's her secret.
I've done it for years. I grew up on it. My folks lived on it. Now I have a jar right beside my chair, and I take a little bite every once in a while, and I think it fortifies me. Skippy mostly.
Yeah, she prefers Skippy.
Skippy is the way to life.
The secret ingredient.
Take every day at a time and enjoy life and try to be patient. Just enjoy life. Enjoy what you have.
You guys heard the secret to longevity is Skippy peanut butter. We're gonna go get her a jar of peanut butter and a bear. Got the goods. I have something for you.
Oh my goodness, what is that? Oh! Oh my goodness.
What is it?
Look.
Oh, they found you a bear.
Oh, you went and got that? Oh.
What is it?
Peanut butter.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. Why did you do that?
Because you took the
time to share your story with me.
Oh, honey, that was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
It says, squeeze me for kisses.
Oh.
Aw. There you go.
Aw.
Thank you. Aww. You made her day.
Isn't that sweet? Adorable. That's just lovely. Isn't that just the best? Oh, gosh, it really is. It really is. And let's see. Oh, this is really super interesting. And then I think we're going to call it an evening after this, folks. So check this out. Oops.
Scientists just copied a fruit fly's brain into a computer. Then they gave it a digital body and it started moving and finding food and eating. It responds to its environment and behaves exactly like a fruit fly, with 95% accuracy. No training data, no machine learning. That fly is currently moving without anyone telling it to move, without anyone guiding it, without anyone training it. The fact that it knows how to walk is not the fascinating thing. It's walking because it wants to get food. So it understands hunger even though it doesn't need food. It's coded in the brain for it to find food, and it's doing it digitally. Now, this team, their mission is to create a complete digital human emulation to prepare us for a future with digital intelligence. The researchers said it's not a problem of how. We know it's possible. It's just a problem of when. Scientists just copied a fruit fly's.
Oh, isn't that interesting? You know, there's one other story here. I just really wanted to. Oh, this guy's great. In the 90s, a California man, Steve Commissar, began putting ads in national magazines selling solar-powered dryers for $49.95. Customers would then receive a simple clothesline in the mail. It's solar-powered. Oh. Where is it? Oh, this is Jesse Marcel, but that's not what I wanted to show you. Oh, this gal from Ireland. You know, Ireland is, they're protesting like crazy now. And this young gal puts a fine note on it.
So as much as I want to be making gardening content, the reality is a little bit different in Ireland at the moment. We are on day 7 now of the fuel protests. And I just want to say to every single one of you that have been out there, especially the ones that have been out there every day and staying overnight, to all the truck drivers, the farmers, the hauliers, the contractors, the whole lot of you, the whole country is so proud of you, and everybody's behind you, and the whole world is watching. And yeah, you're going to have the odd numpty like Mary there now because she might have missed a nail appointment, but forget about them. Never mind them. They're all right. And as much as I'd love to be out there every single day with you, the reality is someone has to stay back and grow the food. If you haven't noticed by now, and I've been shouting about this for many years, how fragile our food system really is. And I have to be very careful with my words here because since I've put up this video, my profile has been completely censored and all my new videos now have been completely demonetized. So I have to be very careful with how I word this video now. But if anybody has noticed now in the last 7 days, it's this. If there's one thing that they fear the most, it's unity. There is serious power in unity and people coming together and uniting. And you know what? This country has been so long divided. It has been the most refreshing thing the last 7 days, watching everybody come together and unite. It's been just absolutely amazing. And you'll see the media now trying to distract us now and again divide us and going with their stupid buzzwords and their labels and their far left and far right this. And you know what? Forget about it. Because that's their plan. That's all done by design, all these stupid labels. I never got into it because it even comes down to this color of your skin, to religion, all these things. It's all done by design and it's to divide the people because you're so much easier to control when everyone's divided. And in the last 7 days, we can see that clearly. how amazing it is when people are united. And don't get me started about how the people in power, I don't think they've realised what they've done in the past few days and how they've treated the ordinary working man and woman. And how they've retaliated is just something absolutely wicked. I've seen men being dragged out of their tractors and being kicked on the ground. I've seen peaceful protesters pepper sprayed, kids as well, women being pepper sprayed. I've seen the riot squad out and the army, again, all with peaceful protesting. And you know what? I don't think the people in power have actually really realised what they've done. Because what they've done is they've woken the fighting Irish. So fair play to every single one of you out there. And if anybody hasn't gone out yet, go out into your local protests. Get out there in numbers. Don't be afraid. It is 100% peaceful. And you know what? There's absolutely lovely vibes out there as well. So fair play to every single one of you. Keep at it. Keep up the momentum. Fair play to you.
Isn't that nice? And we're going to put a lid on it. And I want to thank you all for coming along on this truth quest with a couple cat music videos. Don't you love it? And thank you all for your kind words. Chrono Viewer says, thank you, Aaron. And Cap 78 Pack says, great informative show tonight, Aaron. If I could only talk. Thank you, and Valeronian, much love, peace in, and God bless all. Good night, and see you Wednesday. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Cap 78 Pack. And Kathy Weiss was gifted a membership by Cap 78 Pack. Isn't that nice? Well, folks, we do this Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you could take a picture of that crazy UFO and come out of the Truth Quest and talk about it. Alrighty, Aphrodite. We'll see you on Wednesday right around 9 p.m. Central. That is our bat time. We'll see you then. Until then, peace in. World peace, baby. Yeah. Take care and keep questing for the truth. All right. Thank you.